Good morning everyone and welcome to Lords for the second day of the first test match between New Zealand and the West Indies in this, the grand final series of the Hero Cricket League's Y50 Test Match Championship 2020. The West Indies won the toss yesterday, elected to bat and have put themselves in a very dominant position at 375 for 3. We saw centuries from Desmond Haynes and Gordon Greenwich. A very tough day for New Zealand. They'll be looking to take some wickets this morning and to try and bounce back in this test match. The players and umpires are ready out in the middle. We join the action now as Richard Hadlee bowls the first ball of the day to Garfield Sobers. Right on target and well defended off the back foot. Oh, that's a beautiful outswinger from Southey. Just a little too short and Viv Richards has worked that down to fine leg for the first boundary of the day. Played out into the offside, and that will be the 54 Viv Richards as Kane Williamson chases that one down and returns it back into the middle. Richards' third 50 in the championship to go along with one century. Pulled away from Sobers, that's beaten fine leg, and that will be 4 more. Oh, well taken at short leg. Is that out? The umpire says yes. There must have been an inside edge on that. That's the wicket New Zealand were looking for. Viv Richards is out. Caught Hadlee, bowled Southey for 52. And the West Indies are 391 for 4. Neatly worked into that gap at mid-wicket, and that will bring up the 400 for the West Indies. Oh, that's a super shot. Sobers is such an elegant player through the offside. Oh, now behind square on the offside. The timing on that was exquisite. That's a nice shot from Lloyd. Will it have enough energy to go up the hill? Yes, it will. That's 4 more. Slightly short from Shane Bond and beautifully pulled away to the mid-wicket boundary from Clive Lloyd. Well, this pitch is really looking very flat. Oh, and he's bowled him. Chris Cairns has the breakthrough for New Zealand. Garfield Sobers is out. Bowled Cairns for 31. And the West Indies are 439 for 5. Slashed away into the gap, and that will be 4 more. And that's gone straight through mid-on and brings up the 450. Bowled as well. That's well bowled from Chris Cairns. Nice, full and straight. That's really left the stumps in a right old mess. Dujon is out. Bowled Cairns for 2. And the West Indies are 455 for 6. Shane Bond to begin his 17th over. Oh, that struck Clive Lloyd on the pad. A big shot from New Zealand. There was a big angle there, but the umpire says yes. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes, that ball would have gone in to hit the leg stump. A good decision from the umpire, and Clive Lloyd is out. LBW to Shane Bond for 37. And the West Indies are 457 for 7. Chris Cairns to start a new over. Well, that's a good shot from Malcolm Marshall. Pumped down the ground. Kane Williamson won't be able to track that down. That's 4. And that's a very nice piece of timing from Malcolm Marshall. That will be 4 more. Picked up over square leg from Malcolm Marshall. Lots of Caribbean flair in that shot. That's 3 4s in the over. Squirted away using the pace of Shane Bond, and that's raced away to the boundary. Oh, straight to Ross Taylor at a silly point. He's caught well there all championship. That's another wicket for Daniel Vettori. Joel Garner is out. Caught Taylor, bowled Vettori for 4. And the West Indies are 482 for 8. Curtly Ambrose, the new batsman for the West Indies. And there's that long reach, stretching out, meeting that ball on the full and pumping his first ball down the ground for 4. Oh, that's a lovely back foot drive from Curtly Ambrose. 2 balls, 2 4s. Oh, and down the ground for 4 more. The West Indies dressing room will be happy with that. Oh, that looks very, very close indeed. A big appeal from Richard Hadlee. The umpire says, yes, that's out. A nice full straight delivery. That would have smashed into middle stump about halfway up. And Curtly Ambrose is out. LBW to Hadlee for 12. And the West Indies are 495 for 9. Courtney Walsh, the last batsman for the West Indies. Oh, and he's out. Looking to play across the line. He scooped that one up. A simple catch for Richard Hadlee. And Courtney Walsh is out. Caught and bowled Hadlee for a duck. And the West Indies are all out for 495. Well, that's a very good score for the West Indies, but it's not been a terrible morning for New Zealand. They've taken 7 wickets for 120 runs. Let's have a look at the West Indies scorecard. 2 excellent centuries and a partnership of 266 for Gordon Greenwich and Desmond Haynes. Some very attractive 50s from Brian Lara, Viv Richards, some 30s from Garfield Sobers and Clive Lloyd. And the combination of those excellent innings for the West Indies means that they have an imposing total 495. 5 bowlers used for New Zealand, 3 for 104 for Richard Hadlee, 3 for 112 for Chris Cairns, 2 wickets for Daniel Vettori and 1 wicket each for Shane Bond and Tim Southey. This Lord's pitch has certainly settled down from yesterday and looks a very good one for batting. The New Zealanders will be very keen to make the most of these conditions. There's just the time for 1 over before lunch, and that will be lunch on day 2. That over going by without incident. Glenn Turner and Stephen Fleming each have a single off that solitary over from Joel Garner. Oh, that's an elegant cover drive from Stephen Fleming. That will be the first 4 for New Zealand. Off the hip, down towards the 5-leg boundary, and that will be 4 leg byes. Oh, that's a beautiful line from Ambrose. He's excellent from the pavilion end. Oh, there's that Lord's wobble we were talking about, straight through Dujon's legs. There'll be some more extras here. Leg byes down to the boundary and 4 more for New Zealand. Edged and magnificently caught by Viv Richards at second slip. He's taken some great catches in this championship. That's one of the best. And Stephen Fleming is out. Caught Richards, bowled Garner for 13. With New Zealand 34 for 1. Williamson, the new man for New Zealand. They want him to come good in this grand final series. And that's a very good start. A super shot down the ground. Oh, Glenn Turner was very quick onto that pull shot. That's gone out to the boundary, his first of the innings. He's very good there. Kane Williamson off the back foot through the offside, timed away for 4. Oh, that's a superb shot from Glenn Turner, standing up tall against the big fast bowler and punching him down the ground for 4 more. Oh, that's a nasty ball from Sobers. That one skidded on slightly. Past the edge, but Williamson survives. Nicely played through the onside, and that will bring up the 50 partnership between Glenn Turner and Kane Williamson. Just a little too short from Sobers, giving Williamson time to place that into the gap. Tossed up, inviting Williamson to play the shot again, and he has obliged. And there will be tea on day 2. It's been quite a good session for New Zealand, really. They've scored 100 runs, just losing the 1 wicket. Stephen Fleming, the only batsman out in that session for 13. Glenn Turner is on 40 not out. He's joined by Kane Williamson on 34 not out. 5 bowlers used for the West Indies, just the 1 wicket for Joel Garner. Off the hip, that's beaten Dujon and will go down to the boundary for 4 more leg byes. Oh, there's that in movement again. A big shout from Courtney Walsh. The umpire says, yes, that's out. That's not a wicket that New Zealand wanted to lose. Kane Williamson falling over his front pad. That would have clipped leg stump, and he is out. LBW to Walsh for 39, and to New Zealand 117 for 2. Well, that's a lovely on drive from Glenn Turner, and that will bring up his 50, his 8th half century of the championship to go with 300s. What a player he's been for New Zealand. Oh, that's a windy whoosh from Martin Crowe. Was there an edge on that? The umpire says yes. That's a big wicket for the West Indies. Martin Crowe has been coming into excellent form, but he is out. Caught Dujon, bowled Ambrose for 5. And New Zealand 133 for 3. Ross Taylor, the new man for New Zealand at number 5. That's a nice shot through the offside, through the field, and he's off the mark with a boundary. Oh, that's nice to hit away through square leg, and that brings up the 150 for New Zealand. Well, that's a lovely drive through extra cover. 4 more for Ross Taylor. Oh, that's right into the gap. Another beautiful shot off the back foot from Ross Taylor. He hasn't really got going in this championship. New Zealand will be hoping he can survive until tomorrow and push on. Worked away through mid-wicket. They will race away down the hill for 4 more. Oh, that was a quick Yorker. Turner was late on that one. And that will be stumps on day 2. That's been a good session for the West Indies. 72 runs scored by New Zealand, but they've lost the crucial wickets of Kane Williamson for 39 and Martin Crowe for 5. Glenn Turner is still at the crease on 68 not out. He is joined by Ross Taylor, who is looking good on 28 not out. 5 bowlers used for the West Indies. Wickets for Joel Garner, Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh. And so New Zealand wouldn't be unhappy with 174 for 3 in isolation, but they are still 321 runs behind the West Indies' first innings score of 495. The West Indies are still on top in this match. New Zealand will need a very good day batting tomorrow if they're going to get back into this match. That's it from us. Do join us tomorrow for day 3, and bye for now.